Ladies, gentlemen, and every magnificent thing between and outside. This is the Envoy of Kairos. Back for the first time in a long while, a new Speedpaint. So, this is another wonderful commission by my friend Ghast, and it's another of his Dungeons & Dragons characters. One I'm quite impressed with, much like his others. This time he was making something for a run of Tomb of Annihilation, so he had to go out of his way to make something particularly strong. But, as usual with him, this character's got a lot of, well, character. This is Brunk Barrelring. He's a level 7 swashbuckler rogue barbarian multiclass, and a bugbear smuggler. He is designed to essentially be the most paranoid bugbear in existence. And generally, character-wise, Ghast has described him as if Chewbacca and Han Solo were the same character, but with a little bit of Carl Fredricksen from Up. So, quite the paranoid badass who's got the bulk to back it up. Of course, since they're running Tomb of Annihilation, he has to contest with the incredibly unpredictable and dangerous jungle environment, which means he, of course, equips himself with a long sword of warning. As such, during this piece, you can clearly see the Raven's Eye built into the glass marble within the pommel of his sword. But he is also equipped with your average swashbuckler's cutlass as well. And he comes with a very wonderfully designed pair of bracers of magic daggers. Now, most of his armor design, most of the character overall, was initially designed by Ghast. He, of course, used the Hero Factory to make figures for them. And, yeah, they turned out great, but he told me to add in a little of my own flair, and, well, a lot of that went into how I combined the details of two different versions of him that he presented to me, and then how I customized his bracers to suit the magical aspects of them. Overall, there wasn't too much design work for me to focus on. It was much more about the pose and the detail. Of course, trying to outdo the detail of the immaculately painted digital figures that the Hero Factory produced. Well, I found that to be a worthy challenge. Overall, I feel I succeeded by the end of this. When it came to the rest of his armor, I definitely went out of my way to create a muted color palette, but it turns out even more muted by the end, largely due to the backlighting I chose to work with. He wanted me to put Brunk on his ship, which happens to be a collapsible ship, a highly underused magical item in D&D. It can compact all the way down to a single trunk that Brunk will often carry on his back. Being a bugbear, that's quite easy for him. But it can be expanded to a simple rowboat or all the way to a full-sailed ship. And, of course, I present it here in its fully expanded form. Sailing the high seas, surrounding the jungles containing the Tomb of Annihilation. Now, when it comes to designing his bracers, that I felt was the largest challenge. I wanted something that could present both his rogue and barbarian aspects, and could very easily signify its ability to summon daggers purely through its design, without actually presenting the daggers, as they're not quite supposed to be visible until they want to be used. Of course, in the final piece, I do have them presented just as a bit of extra flair, but normally they wouldn't be quite so visible. I must admit, the greatest challenge with producing this character largely came down to the amount of texture that I was working with, resulting in making the largest file I have ever produced with Photoshop. I actually overtaxed it to the point that Photoshop demanded that I save this file as a PSB instead. First time I've ever managed to do that, and I had no idea it was even a thing beforehand. But here we are. So, my most detailed piece yet, with a total of 20 hours put into production. And I'm quite proud of it, even after that long of a production period. Some additional details toward the end of this piece. I, of course, had to put something in the background outside of the ship, so I chose to present a bit of the forest bordering the jungle with a very ominous shadow waiting in the background, which, of course, is one of the more intimidating foes that Brunk has taken down single-handedly. A T-Rex. A lot of people forget that dinosaurs exist in D&D. Well, I know this ramble about this character hasn't been the most coherent, but I am recording this on the morning of, well, January 1st, 2024. I am still recovering from last night. I've got so much to do. So, you can expect this piece to just be a preview of what's to come this year. I'm going to have a lot more commissions, hopefully. I'm going to have a lot more speed paints in general. And you can expect a plethora of original content coming up. For now, I hope you all enjoyed this presentation of Ghast's latest and greatest new character. And I hope he and his party can get some good use out of this piece. Once again, thanks for commissioning me, Ghast. Always a pleasure to work with you. For now, this is the Envoy of Kairos signing out. And I'll see you all again very soon for another miraculous video. Tomorrow should be more Baldur's Gate 3. And you can expect more speed paints before the end of the month. Thanks for watching, guys.